Sorry, I'm just talking in a mute. Okay, so basically, the VM instance is, deployment is in progress. Okay, let's continue. It is going to take some time. Why? Because the yesterday class, what we did basically, the plain VM. So in that case, you are going to pay for only for the VM instance, not for the SQL appliance, SQL application. But in this case, we are going to pay for the SQL as well as the VM. So the cost is going to, 8 times of the existing one. So that is the case. So make sure that when you are going to utilize the both the SQL and the VM. Okay, so to optimize this one, okay, so how I am going to leverage, basically within the single instance as per our requirement, okay, as per the client requirement, we are going to install in a single host in a multiple instances. So anyone is aware of how many default instance, what is the default instance, the named instance? See, any idea what is default instance, named instance?
So default instance is that which we install first time. That is a
Mhm.
means very first instance is a default, and later whatever instance we install, that would be named instance.
Yeah, good. Yeah. So the default instance, basically it is going to inherit the when you are going to install first time. Okay, first time itself we can able to opt, if you want to go for the default instance you can go, and the named instance also you can go. But the default instance, what it is going to accommodate, the instance name, it is going to inherit the host name basically. So whatever your server name is there, okay, the VM instance name is the same name, it is going to applicable for the SQL instance, SQL application. Okay, so you can feel like your host name as your SQL instance name. Okay, but only one default instance you can able to install for one host. Okay, maximum named instance you can able to install up to 50 standalone. For the cluster one, 25 max to max you can able to install. So that is up to case to case. But uh, here what we are going to do, the named instance we are going to installing at this moment. So did you get, guys, availability set and availability zone? Okay, so simple thing is availability set, it is going to redundancy of your VMs within the single data center. In a single data center they're maintaining a multiple racks. Okay, so fault domain, your VMs, it is going to spread multiple racks. One rack it is going to impact, rest of the two racks still available, your VMs is up and running. Okay, it's a, you just normal layman words. Okay, it is high availability kind of thing, your application availability within the single data center or the single zone. And availability zone across the data centers. Okay, so one data center is goes down. Okay, uh, still your VM is instance is available to the other data center or the other zone. So that's simple, high level understanding. Okay, so if you want deeper learning, just go to the Microsoft links. It is going to give some in details information. Just as a SQL database administration guy, this all about infrastructure level VM deployment, VM um, configuration, VM related things we just need to keep in mind. It's not a blind just go and install and keep it ready for the SQL not. So you may said that application stakeholders stating that, hey, the current existing one, okay, sometimes a customer will come and ask you, um, I want the high availability. So if you want to go for the high availability option, again one more VM you need to deploy and configure, either log shipping, mirroring, replication, always on high availability, failover clustering. So these things, if you want to go and configure it, there is a lot of dependency with the software related. You want to go for the high availability in enterprise edition, you want to go, and you require uh, additional VMs, additional resources. So that is going to double, triple, four times of the cost. Okay, so what is the RPO and RTO, recovery point and recovery time object. Okay, based upon that, you can suggest the client, hey, so we have an SQL application in this so and so VM, okay, which is backend the VM level resiliency is there. Okay, either it is in availability set and availability zone. So you may expect, okay, so 99.99 SLA from the Microsoft vendor given. Okay, so uh, so what is your impact level of your application? Okay, so that discussion will happen. So since we are already opting in the infrastructure level of your application should up and running, so are we still required database level high availability? So just focus on the infrastructural, what is and just explain it in detail. Then after that we'll go for SQL related high availability concepts and all, so that client will decide, okay, so okay, this is some application may have maybe 1 day or 5 minutes most of critical application, and 24 hours also some will have an RPO. Okay, so based upon that you just explore out of this option to well explanation with the coordination of the Azure infrastructure team. As a database guy, this is what your current state of desired state. Okay, so you can explore it and then explain to the client, so that it is going to help to reduce the cost. Yeah, now it is got deployed successfully. Okay, so I'm just going for the go to the resource option, and let's see this whether it is in a availability set option or not. Okay, so basically we can see scaling of your for the availability set, it is not going to show here. Okay, from where I can see availability. Yeah, if you can see this availability and the scaling, since we opt this one, okay, when we are deploying one more VM, you can opt this availability set, so that the VMs is going to spread multiple racks within the availability set. That's what my point here to explore on it. Okay, so the other thing, just before during the deployment, we discussed one more point, right? So you have forgot to ask the client is having a software assistance agreement, but during the deployment you have opt Microsoft vendor provided software assurance, which is going to cost, right? Just go to this SQL configuration over here. Okay, so go to the SQL manage SQL virtual machine, where you can able to uh, bring your own license kind of thing in this aspect. See here, uh, you have the SQL application over here. Okay, so go to this configuration, and here you can able to see. Okay, so uh, a hybrid benefit of your having some software assurance with you. I can say that since I have already enterprise agreements with me, so I can go and opt. Since it is in developer edition, not required. Okay, this is the one thing I want to highlight again. Okay, let's say you just deployed a developer edition. Okay, without additional installation, you can go for a standard edition, express edition, web edition. Okay, you can able to go directly for the edition as well. Okay, let's keep this one as is. What I want to focus here, so you can able to software assurance for the hybrid benefit, bring your own license over here. Okay, the other thing is you can post installation. Let's say you install developer edition, later on you realize I want to install standard edition. You are not going to manually do, just make it as this standard edition and press apply. It is going to have a standard edition. So that is what I want to set. So if you can see this SQL best process assessment, so we just deployed the SQL server, right? So by default Microsoft, it is going to give some assessment report to you and give it to you output information, whether it is as per the best practice standard thing, whether it's avail or not. Okay, that it is going to, we'll explore that part. But at this moment, I want to connect and install the named instance. That is my primary purpose is basically. Just let's try to connect this one. Okay, so anyone have any questions at this moment?
No, sir.
All right. Okay, so I'm just connected this, SQL Server IaaS VM. Okay, so we have a lot of things to discussion. Okay, so today agenda is basically to ensuring that named instance. Next class maybe Unix environment installation and connectivity part we will discuss. That is also a part of this sessions we have going to cover. Maybe next class will touch base that one. Okay. All right, the VM is now available here. Okay, so what I want to go and see basically, since no need to install, it is predefined thing. Okay, nothing to do here. Uh, Basically, we'll go and we'll see this, management studio. Okay, so including the management studio, we can have this uh, option to see. Okay. Okay, before that, where is that binary? Yeah, this. Okay. Let's see, as I said, okay, so by default, it is going to take the default instance. Okay, so I'm just connecting with this, Windows authentication process. Okay, so let's have this, SQL application, which I'm connected SQL Server IaaS VM. This is infrastructure as a service. So whatever you are going to do some, tasks on premises, you can feel that, create databases and do some, R&D, some deploying of the tables, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Okay, so there is nothing fancy here. So it is as is one. So our goal is basically to install the named instance. Okay, so initial days, I mean 2019 or 20, I feel some difficult to install the named instance. Okay, we just going to raise a case with Microsoft and then we are going to elaborate it, right? So see, we have added the data disk and the log disk. Okay, so let's go to this C drive. So if you can see this, there is a SQL Server tools. Okay, so you can SQL logs code and perform inside. Okay, so we have SQL Server full here. Okay, this is SQL Server software which is Microsoft has provided. So just simple, go to the setup file and try to install it. Okay, so since I can able to, since I have only the mm, default instance, let's try to install the named instance first of all. Okay, so it is straightforward. Okay, so there is nothing fancy. Yesterday whatever you did, the same kind of approach. Okay, so let's see how it is going to do. Okay, so before that, let's go and see the configuration manager, how many instances which we are available currently. Just go to the SQL Server configuration manager. So you could able to see that only one default instance name we have. Subsequently, we have the client information as well. See, I could see this, only for the one default instance is the SQL Server VM. And if you want to find that, network protocol, you can easily to find this TCP IP1. Okay, so this is what we can able to see this. Okay, so and also keep this one, host name. Okay, so the same host name, we just have that SQL application, right? So let's install now. Okay, so it is passing everything, since it is Microsoft Marketplace thing. Okay, let's move forward. uh I'm just going a little bit fast. Okay, so if you feel difficulty, just raise a hand and just ask me the question. Okay, it's done. Okay, so let's move forward. Next. And if you can see this, additional feature is required, you can opt here. I'll move forward for the next option, developer edition. And if you want to go other editions also, you can able to go for express edition, evaluation edition, make that, developer edition only. And then just licensing to here. And here
Sir,
is
why
our
we are getting enterprise option in that editions?
See, we are using for free trials only, right? So that is the evaluation edition. Okay, it will give
Okay.
180 days of the free trial. Later on, it is not going to work for you. You have to convert, apply your licensing agreement, licensing appliance to that, so that it will run. Otherwise, it will go for the compliance related to Microsoft. For the free trial, you can able to use 180 days, right?
Okay, sir.
So I'm just happening the SQL Server engine. Just let's move forward. And here is, see, by default, it is giving named instance. Okay, if you want to go and opt one more default instance, it will not accept. See here, it will throw error. Instance is already used to continue specify the unique instance name. Okay, so that's what only single default instance you can able to install. So at this moment, our agenda to install the named instance. Okay, so SQL UAT. Okay, so I'm just giving the name. So how it is going to come? Yesterday I already told, right? So it will come for the host name slash the instance name, the named one. So let's proceed now. So rest of the task all are same, nothing to change here. So I want to more focus on this one. Let's see this, named instance can able to install or not. Uh, okay. Yesterday we all discussed this, all the parts. Okay, right. So I'm just going to take this one only. So everything is as is same and just install it. Okay, so it is going to take 1 or 2 minutes to install the named instance. See, as of now, we have only for one default instance. So post installation successful, we can able to see the instance name here. This is a default instance. That's what it is coming. Once it is successfully installed, okay, you can see that named instance over here, and we'll try to connect that one as well. Likewise, you can install within the single host up to 50 named instances. Okay. And 25 cluster instances also you can able to do with a named instance. So now we just installed UAT. Same like you can able to install the production one. Okay. So it is going to see, as I said, so this is thing to utilizing of the effective resource utilization. That is the main motto, and the cost reduce. Hope you guys is understand basically. So tomorrow agenda is basically we are gonna install the SQL application into the Linux machine, and we'll try to connect that one. Okay, we do have to explore it of few options that we will discuss, and we'll try to install and connect that one. Okay, so it is mostly completed. Let's see. I'm just going to refresh this one. See here, I think it is stopped state. Still, it is not completed. Okay, so the backend some services going to appliance. Okay, apply. So if you can see, this is the default instance. This is the named instance, right? Let's see that once completed, we can able to connect. How we are going to connect? You don't know this, just go to this instance name and go to this browse option, so that it is going to show the list of the instances name here. See, as I said, default name, the host name it is going to inherit, so that the default instance SQL instance name is our host name, nothing but. So the named instance would be the host name slash UAT. Okay, I'm just going to connect this one. I cannot able to connect as long as this is going to complete. Okay, still it is there, and it is completed now, and it should online. Once it is online, we can able to connect. Still it is in stopped state. Oh, so changing pending status. Okay, let's see that. All right. See, we haven't started as of now. Okay, so actual managed services. cloud related, Azure SQL managed instance. Next upcoming weeks we are going to start that SQL managed instance Azure SQL. Prior to that, we'll just finish this basic stuff, networking and all. Okay, so let's see. Next two classes still we have, Unix environment and other things. Okay, so post that we'll go for the DBA task and all.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it's done successfully. So I'm just closing this and let's see this refreshment once again. Refresh. Now it is online. Okay, just try to connect with the Windows authentication. Okay, so what it is saying, account is successfully established. This encryption is by default connected. Let's see this option to make. Yeah, now I'm able to connect. Okay, so this is my default instance and this is my named instance. This is my default. So successfully we installed a named instance. Likewise, you can install multiple instances. Okay, so see, the agenda is this demo is basically to reduce the cost, first priority. The second priority is effective utilization of the existing host. Okay, so likewise you can able to install multiple things. Okay, yesterday whatever we did, that demo is basically the regular basis what we are going to do on premises. But here in the cloud, you just make sure this the client newly requirement, newly thoughts, how we are going to proposing, what is the implementation, what is the best proposal to give effect process. So that is what it is going to happen. All right, guys, I'm just winding up this class today. So let me know any questions. Okay, so I'm going to share this recording and step-by-step process to you folks. Okay, any questions?
Nothing.
No, sir.
Yeah, thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye.